ballpark. Listen to this crowd of some 14,543. Nolan Ryan coming down to the wire with a no-hitter, but leading only 1-0. He's in a spot where not only the no-hitter, but the game. Here's Arta. Struck out 3 times in a swings, and he missed. Oh, what a tense, dramatic moment at White Sox Park. Nolan Ryan has a no-hitter in the bottom of the 9th. Nolan Ryan, 27 years old, 6'2", 190. For a club that's only 143, here's the pitch. Struck him out. Holy cow. Arta's fan 4 times in a row. He didn't even have a swing at that one. He was so handcuffed. I'm sure. What a job. And poor Jim Cott made one bad pitch and Frank Robinson homered. And what a game he pitched also. Fouled out of play. Oh, is he letting it all out. Big strikeouts between them. 2 balls and a strike. A little tap. He's got a chance to beat it out. The throw. Save! Infield hit. Big argument. Big argument. That's a tough way to lose a no-hitter on a half-wing. Holy cow. Let's watch it again. Watch the swings. He tried to stop. Dave Chalk makes it. The third baseman makes a fine pickup. Has a little trouble throwing, though. Watch the play. Is he safe? Yes! 2 balls, no strikes. Ground ball off the first baseman's chest. He threw no play. Tying and winning runs are on. Except that ball, the game is over. B.B. Richard is going to run for Carlos May. We'll pause quickly. This is the Chicago White Sox baseball telecast. See the pitch. Ground ball up the middle base hit. Tying runner around third. Racing to the plate. There's another man trying for third. Safe. Henderson trying for second. Safe. Listen to the crowd. Richard, let's watch the game-tying hit. Right up the middle, almost hit Nolan Ryan in the leg. Dick Allen knew he had it made all the way. So here we are with a chance to win it. We're talking about a no-hitter. I told you, seen it happen so many times. A guy not only loses a no-hitter, but loses the game. Bill Melton, the batter. The infield is in. They're going to pitch to him. He bunts. Here's a play to let it roll. Foul ball. Holy cow. What a smart play by Mealy. Holy cow. Let's watch that again. That caught everybody by surprise. With 2 out. Now that ball is fair by 5 feet. It hits that turf and takes a spin. Look how much fair it is. Just misses the corner of the bag. The things that will win the game. 2 balls and a strike. Sox win! Sox win! Billy Sharp singles to right. Look at the White Sox. Billy Sharp dancing. Oh, what a victory and what a heartbreaker for Nolan Ryan. Sharp single to right. 2 runs. 3 hits. 1 error. And there's your ball game. He had a no-hitter going into the bottom of the 9th. Let's watch it again. Ground ball hit sharply. Nobody could touch it. Ryan will never lose a tougher one than this. And Jim Cott will never win a sweeter one. Holy cow, what a ball game.
ABC Sports exclusive.
ABC ABC's Monday Night Baseball, a special Friday edition, live from Anaheim Stadium in Anaheim, California. The California Angels hosting the world champion New York Yankees, and this ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Chevrolet and Chevrolet dealers coast to coast. By Lowenbrau, when you want the taste of a truly great American beer, there's really only one tonight. Let it be Lowenbrau. And by Allstate Insurance Companies, you're in good hands with Allstate. Anaheim Stadium, home of the California Angels, where the New York Yankees are calling tonight, where attendance is up more than 372,000 this year, the biggest single increase in baseball. The standings in the American League now look like this. In the Eastern Division, the Baltimore Orioles are leading by 3 over the Boston Red Sox. The Milwaukee Brewers are holding at 7 games back. The Yankees are in 4th place, 9 games off the lead after being banged around again up in the Great Pacific Northwest. In the Western Division of the American League, the California Angels are on top by a game. The Rangers, Texas, they're in Kansas City tonight. Big ball game for the Rangers. The Royals have now fallen to 4th behind the steady Minnesota Twins. And hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson, and I suppose that you, like us, got a crick in your neck from looking over your shoulder on a Friday the 13th. The sun has been hidden all day, has just come out. It's very warm and comfortable as we settle in for what should be an exciting game tonight between the California Angels and the New York Yankees. The Angels came into the American League back in 1961, moved down here to Anaheim in 1966, and since coming here, the people of this part of Southern California have been most deliberate in their support. And as this ball club has started to improve and started to win, Gene Autry has been warmed by the support of the people here, and it looks like they're headed for well over $2 million in 1979. It was always the dream of Gene Autry to win himself a pennant. Yeah, a baseball man. Loves the game, always loved it, all those years of riding at horses and shooting at the bad men. And to paraphrase one of his great hit records, he has been a silver-haired sugar daddy since getting into the game of baseball, spending well over $15 million for free agents and trades. We'll detail that for you as we move along tonight, but I'll guarantee you one thing, that the Cowboy is happy to have his ball club sitting on top. But right now, let's turn to Howard Cossel and talk about the latest adventures of the New York Yankees, because they come out of the Northwest bruised again.
Yes, they escaped with their lives, Keith, but just barely. And George Steinbrenner, the Yankee owner, is not silver-haired, but he has been a sugar daddy of sorts, too. 2 things to remember about this Yankee team. They are realistic, they are poised. They are realistic in the task before them, to pass not 1 but 3 teams, Milwaukee, Boston, and then the apparently indomitable Birds of Baltimore. And they are poised because they have done it before, and they believe they can do it again. Indeed, Billy Martin told the old Dodgers shortstop Harold Pee Wee Reese on the field before the game, "Pee Wee, I think we can do it. I know we can do it, but it won't be easy." That's the mood of the Yankee team as they escaped from Seattle for the task of facing Nolan and Ryan tonight. Now, ordinarily, I'd be turning this microphone and camera over to the Twin D, Don Drysdale. But as many of you know, he is the voice of the California Angels. And right now, you see him preparing to do the Angels radio broadcast. Under a fixed policy of ABC Sports, a man identified with one team throughout the season cannot work a network telecast involving that team with which he is so identified. So the Twin D won't be with us tonight. Instead, the man who spent his life as a substitute is with us. My old and dear friend, he's down on the field right now, Mr. Bob Ueker, the catcher who never made it. Bob?
And a presentation here tonight for Rod Carew. Last year, as a member of the Minnesota Twins, he won his 7th batting championship, hitting .333. He homered 5 times, and he knocked in 70 runs. Batting championship number 7 for Rod Carew, and here to make the presentation tonight, the president of the American League, Mr. Lee MacPhail.
Thank you, Bob. It is my privilege to represent all 14 of our teams here tonight and honoring Rod, we are presenting him with this silver Louisville Slugger, emblematic of having won the American League Batting Championship in 1978. As Bob says, Rod has won 7 of these, a truly remarkable achievement. He is without question the finest player active in baseball today, and more than that, he's a very fine gentleman and a credit to our game. Congratulations, Rod.
Thank you very much, Mr. MacPhail. And I'd like to thank the Louisville Slugger, Hillerk and Bradsby, to have been presented to me with this award tonight. And I just hope that I can get back within the next week or so and give Roy Smalley and the other guys a run for another batting title in 1979. Thank you.
Rod Caray just back yesterday. Got the final okay, I guess, from the doctors here in California to start hitting again. How long is it going to be before you're back in the lineup on an everyday basis?
Well, Bob, I think, if I can get a couple of days of hitting, maybe 4 or 5 days of hitting, hopefully, I should be back in the lineup next week in Baltimore. And I know it's going to be kind of hard, but I'm just going to do my best. I can't hit by sitting on a bench. I can't get myself back in shape by sitting on a bench. So I'm just going to have to play as much as I can and work myself back into some kind of shape.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. And congratulations one more time to Rod Caray. Our starting pitchers tonight, Louis Tiant, 6-3 for New York. Nolan Ryan, 11-6 for California. The Angels and the Yankees coming up on a Friday the 13th.
Major League Baseball presents Big League Tips.
Well, I think the most important thing about hitting is find a bat that you can use, something that you can swing. You don't want to find a bat that's too big that when you swing it, you might fall. Find something that's comfortable in your hands, walk up to home plate, and if the pitch is around home plate, take your whacks, because that's going to show that you want to hit, and that's where you're going to start learning to be an aggressive.
The preceding message was brought to you on behalf of Major League Baseball.
All right, folks, the lineup for the New York Yankees. Leading off, Bobby Mercer hitting as a Yankee, 220 with 4 ribbies. Thurman Munson at 301, but only 3 homers and 35 ribbies. Greg Nettles in a slump, 259, 13 homers, 49 ribbies. Reggie Jackson red hot, 290, 16 home runs, 45 ribbies. Lou Piniella, the steady one, 318, 8 home runs, 45 RBIs. Chris Chandler struggling, 264, 9 home runs, only 29 RBIs. The DH, Jim Spencer, 262, 8 home runs, 24 RBIs. Willie Randolph getting on base often, 268, 3 homers, 34 RBIs. Bucky Dent at 250, 1 homer, 21 RBIs. Keith?
The Angels have not taken the field as yet. Might tell you that Jim Fregosi, the manager of the California Angels, is not with the ball club tonight. He's hospitalized for some tests. And Bobby Knopp, who played a lot of second base for this ball club, was a very popular figure and now a coach with the team, will do the managing from the dugout tonight. So Bobby Knopp handling the chore for Jim Fregosi. The crowd is a little late getting here, and good reason for it, because the 5 o'clock start, it's kind of hard to steal more than an hour, and the traffic sometimes on the California freeways can get very gummy this time of the day. That's a very apt, I think, comment, too, because as the shadows creep out across the field, that baseball coming from Nolan Ryan at better than 90 miles an hour will be coming out of the sun into the shadow. And last Monday, he pitched against the Boston Red Sox in a twilight ball game here. He struck out the side in the 2nd and the 4th innings, had a total of 12 in the ball game, and shut out the Red Sox by a score of 6-0. And Jim Rice and Bob Watson struck out 3 times each against Nolan Ryan in the twilight. So he is particularly lethal, and the Yankees are quite aware of it. Don Drysdale told you a story last Monday night we were talking about in Montreal, the Yankees coming in here for this Friday night twilight game, and Jim Spencer heard about the game being played at this hour. He was very quick to mention that he was quite sure it would come up Nolan Ryan, and that's exactly what has happened.
On the other side of the coin, Lou Piniella has this to say. When I asked him if the Yankees had a defeatist attitude coming in here at twilight against Ryan, he said no. He's working with 3 days rest. As you look at Louis Tiant, the ancient one, coming in. He's been pitching cannily for the Yankees. Comes off a one-hitter, a brilliant effort against Oakland. Piniella said, I think working with 3 days rest, he will, and after a tough game where he threw a lot of pitches, he will not be nearly so effective as people think. Well,
Field, fellow who first came to fame as a member of the Oakland Ball Club, Joe Rudy, who's finally sound and playing well once again, hitting over 300 since returning from the injury list. Rick Miller, who has just come off the injury list, is hitting an even 500. He's been wearing them out since he came back to play, and he's outstanding defensively. Over in right field, Dan Ford, who came from the Minnesota Twins in a trade, and he has been very effective all year as well. Moving to the inside at third base, you have Carney Lansford. This is a young man, and I mean very young, in his early 20s, who came up out of the system and seemingly destined for stardom in the American League. At shortstop tonight, another young man who has come out of the system, as a matter of fact, grew up right here in Southern California, young Jim Anderson, who's been hitting very well. Over at second base, free agency delivered this outstanding player to the California Angel, along with Gene Autry's pocketbook, Bobby Grich. Bobby is playing with a sore hamstring problem in a leg, but he's in there battling, having a big year. Over at first base, you have Willie Aikens, who is also having an outstanding year, and they really needed a big effort from Willie with the injury to Rod Carew. Back of the plate is another young man who has become feared, literally, with men on base. He's become a good, hard, tough clutch hitter, Brian Downing, and Nolan Ryan with his numbers there on the mound. And the stories about this man and his pitching achievements will go on throughout the night.
delay in starting, Keith, because Nolan was a little late coming in from the clubhouse, or rather coming out from the clubhouse.
And his pitches have been in the black part of the plate rather than up and over the plate. And Bobby Mercer hits it high in the air in the sun field. Over in right center goes Danny Ford, looking up into that bright sun, and the right fielder for quite some time now is going to be looking right at the sun. Welcome back, Robert.
I'm using up one of my options tonight, Keith.
The amplification of what Howard was
That's
saying.
right. There you see it.
That's a strike. And it's 2-2.
8 against the Yankees, and there's the earned run average, 3.71. Not consistent with his general overall earned run average.
It's into about the third or fourth inning. It gets really tough. There you see the shadows with Nolan Ryan on the mound.
They don't figure Thurman to pull him because the center fielder Miller shades him to right, and instead he walks in. But it was up. Nettles at 259, and that's not that far off his career average.
I think Keith brought up a very important point, too, with Nettles.
Munson is going, and the throw through, and he's gone.
The strike to Anderson covering at second, and they get Thurman Munson. I was watching a tag by Anderson on this play. It didn't look like he even touched Munson. Let's see. I didn't think he did. Well, the ball's there, you're out.
That's right.
True that his streak is coming. It'll come probably at a very good time for the Yankees. There's another strike called on the outside corner. Just nipped it. Now the count is full, 3-2. And Carew both available to play first gives you an idea of the depth of this California ball club that they've been able to build into it. Nettles strikes out on an high fastball, and the inning comes to an end empty for the New York Yankees. Yankees nothing, California coming to bat.
The lineup for the California Angels, Rick Miller leading off at 289. The brilliant young third baseman, Carney Lansford at 313. Dan Ford next, 285, 11 home runs. Tough. Don Bala, incredibly, with 80 RBIs, 21 home runs. Willie Aikens at 280, 57 ribbies. Brian Downing at 346. What a surprise. And then Joe Rudy at 233, but he'll get up there. And then Bobby Grich at 302 with 18 home runs. Finally, Jimmy Anderson at 267. Here's Keith.
Defense for the New York Yankees tonight. Outside, it's Piniella, Mercer, and Jackson left to right. Inside, it's Nettles, Dent, Randolph, Chambliss, Munson back of the plate, and Louis Tiant is on the mound. He had a one-hitter against Oakland in his last outing, won the ball game 2-0, He's got every pitch that you ever heard about or read about and 3 more.
Exactly right, Keith. They talk about Nolan Ryan being tough in the twilight. The same holds true for a guy like Tiant. He's got such an unorthodox style of delivery. Turns his back to the hitter, straight overhand, sidearm.
Sable list with a broken bone in his left hand. He's got a little splint underneath the wrappings for some stability, because the wrist is still weak. The numbers on Louis Tiant against California. Now Greg's on the grass. Miller strokes it toward Bucky Dent at shortstop, and Dent handles him. 1 down. It's tight. I liked Reed White, Roy's boy's comment a couple of weeks ago when Bobby Mercer had moved from the Cubs over to the Yankees. Change up is hit high in the air to left field, playable. Vanilla calls and makes the catch for the 2nd out. He sure did. Honked him upside the head.
Big crowd.
Tomorrow night's game is also a wall-to-wall sellout. 3-2, and Ford takes outside.
All right. Coming up now, one of the hottest hitters in baseball, Don Bell, 80 RBIs, 21 home runs. I talked to him about his efforts thus far. Don, you've just about gone crazy at the plate this year. How come?
Well, the first part of the year I had Rod Carew hitting in front of me, and they pitched around Rod a lot the first 2 months of the season. I had 50 RBIs the first 2 months, and he deserted me in June, and I had 11. And so in July, I really picked up. I had a bad hand the first part of, June, and I just didn't hit the ball well. But right now, I'm back on track, and I'm swinging the bat great right now.
Good. There goes Ford on 3 and 2, and Baylor walks. So Louis Tiant, after getting the first 2, has now walked 2. 80 hitter with 57 runs batted in. Before the year, he was on the roster in pencil only as pinch hitter and perhaps some DH. Had a good spring. Hit on the ground sharply. Chris Chambliss gets a good bounce out of it, makes the play at first himself, and the inning is over. So the Angels got a couple aboard, but can't move them along, and after 1 inning of play, we have no score. Back with more baseball after this word from our local station.
2 guys. Jackson's a super fastball hitter. Of course, Nolan Ryan, strictly a power-type pitcher with a fastball. I like to see him challenge a guy like Jackson, but the thing that was so big for Nolan Ryan on Monday night, the fact that he had such an outstanding curveball against the Red Sox, along with a great fastball.
And to get his curve in hand. 5 years to develop it. High to the left side. Joe Rudy coming over near the line, has a play and makes the catch.
Coming, but not without a near altercation. Listen. Lou, want to tell me about the San Diego Chicken?
Well, we were playing in Seattle, and as everybody knows, we don't play very well there. We haven't played very well there, and the Chicken was having a little more fun with us than I thought he was entitled to. I feel that the Chicken's good for baseball. Let him stay outside of the white lines. Let him stay in top of the dugout or in the stands, but don't clown around too much at the players, especially after they're getting beat like we were. I just threw my glove at him, had some words with him. He started clowning around with me. I told him I was going to make him a Purdue broiler if kept messing around with me.
Up a table.
Struck him out on 3 pitches. Some of you might think now, the Klan is not in town. Those are K's that are hung up there. Chambliss grounds it to shortstop Anderson, who has to hurry with it after failing to get the handle. But those K's are hung up by a group of fans over there to indicate the number of strikeouts Ryan's recorded. Average than Brian Dunn. 346.
Brian's an interesting case. Rejected almost from the beginning, then proving himself with the White Sox as a good fastball hitter. With the Angels, a curveball, and the net result is the average just recited by Keith Jackson.
And a very unusual stance at the plate. Watch.
Important for him to bring that front foot toward the plate. I think there's only one guy that I've ever seen that hit out of an open stance like that, and the stride going the same way, and that was Clemente. He used a very, very long bat and never went into the pitch. He hit out of a wide open stance, but Downing goes right in.
Up the middle it goes. First hit of the ball game.
Later start. Keep you abreast of all of them That was the 8th career Grand Slam for Jeff Burroughs, incidentally.
For the Angels this year, that's the best in baseball. The 2-strike pitch coming now to Rudy. And he swings and strikes out.
BIs. Previous home run highs in the season had been 7 and 6. Back in the old days with Baltimore. His whole comeback, a magnificent story.
Downing is 2 for 4 on the base pass. Been rattling the fences. For the parking lot. Shot. Oh, Nettles flags it down. Downing gets back to the first base. Now we'll have a timeout while Gray counts his fingers.
What a reflex action. Look at it again.
Well, a bullet hit by Gritch, and Nettles appeared to have lost that ball for a moment. It appeared to have lost it for a second and then grabbed it.
One of the great things about Nettles as a ball player is he compartmentalizes his thinking. When in a
2-strike pitch to Anderson. He's gone. So the Angels get a leadoff single from Brian Downing, but they can't do anything about it. And we've played 2 innings of play in Anaheim. We have no score. Now to the top of the 3rd inning. For the New York Yankees, Jim Spencer, Willie Randolph, and Bucky Dent. Spencer, an ex-Angel. Before the night's over, involving Lee Walls. Spencer hits it, big chopper, out to Bobby Gritch, who throws him out. And you've got one away. Ryan now has thrown 29 pitches in the ball game.
Number 30, second baseman, Willie Randolph.
Then of the 59 World Series, won the Babe Ruth Award as the MVP. He'd know about that.
Here's a pitch that Ryan wanted, and not that bad a pitch. Around the knees, the outside corner.
Walk Randolph. That's the second walk of the game. And all that dust and everything, lost his glasses, tore his breeches, and about that time the fireworks started, and you know where he thought he had gone. By the time he climbed out, he had missed the bus, and they throw the ball away at first base, and Randolph counters down to second.
You'll see that last play one more time. Ryan turning and throwing toward first base, and the ball behind the runner. And there you see Randolph heading for second. I don't know if Aikens ever saw that throw coming from Ryan.
Sure he did either. 2-strike pitch. Gone.
Bye-bye, baby. Fired.
I'll tell you, that's got to be a 100-mile-an-hour pitch right there.
No contest right here. Fastball around the outside part of the plate. Look at this, right on the outside part.
Tailed in, right over the outside corner. Tailed in.
Fastball that came back in.
Another Oklahoman standing there with a piece of lumber in his hand. Yeah, but he's steady. Three-two coming. Got him. Yankees got a base runners for a second, but they leave him there after 2.5. No score from California.
You got to win 1-0 or 2-1, whomever.
Out into right center, carrying pretty well. Mercer on the move, flags it down. Ball was hit with some authority.
Mercer, in perfect truth, is not. The Yankees have suffered 3 times with Bobby's inability. At Palm Springs, where the Angels trained last year, I had a long talk with Rigg, and he said, "Well, you see this
still growing." Back 3. For the old master. A little bit of this and a little bit of that and another strikeout.
He is the profession.
You talk about Nolan Ryan, the overpowering stuff. He struck out 4 tonight. That was number 3 for Tia.
That's right. In a way, he reminds me of an old golfer.
Really throw. Tia. Talk about overpowering stuff. Fastball, curve, and he threw from every way like he does now, only had a lot better fastball. Big strikeout pitcher then.
I've seen most of them come and go, including you. No, you were a survivor. No man ever lasted longer with less talent.
2-1 pitch. Stroke to right side with a drop base hit. That's Second hit of the ball game for the California Angels. Comes with 2 outs and brings to the plate Don Baylor. Yankees do defensively for Baylor. Everybody's going to the left side. Baltimore used 3 men on the left side of the infield. Willie Wilson, when Kansas City was here, played him about 15 feet off the left field line. $80 RBIs. 8-0.
He's only just begun. Another half season to go.
One pitch. Hit sharply. Nettles can't flag it. Left field, base hit. And Ford's going to third, and he makes it. He had a little hesitation at second base. He saw Piniella come in, and Lou went over to pick up the ball, and then he broke and went on to third.
Mays Aikens comes to the plate.
Out of Seneca, South Carolina, which is about 5 miles or so from Clemson University. Kept his weight at 201 and improved the quality of his cigars. Right field, base hit, Angels lead as Ford comes in to score from third.
Now down around the knees and watch Aikens. Mark said he's right on it.
Beautiful. Remember what we said, up against a Nolan Ryan, you gotta hang in there.
Into center field, base hit. Here comes Baylor. Angels lead it 2-0. And Aikens goes around to third. So California now has come up with 4 successive singles for 2 runs.
More time. All after 2 are out. Headed up to left center field. A diving try here by Bucky Dent. He can't reach it. And the Angels lead 2-0. Runners at first and third.
Side-wheeling kid, keeps the ball low, throws a lot of ground balls. Lead. Cleveland, California.
No, Ryan's not getting that call.
Can't
He did.
see it.
Nobody might ever. You're right. They can't see it. Oh, it's hit high. It hit deep. And if it's fair, it's gone. It's foul. Oh, my goodness. That woke up the big house here. Rudy strikes out, and the inning is over. But it's profitable for California. After 3 complete innings of play, the Angels lead the Yankees 2-0. It'll be Thurman Munson, Greg Nettles, and Reggie Jackson for the Yankees as we move to the top of the 4th inning. With Nolan Ryan now, 2 runs. The good. The Yankees still nothing but 0.
The game because I interviewed him. Used to average 16 home runs a year. There's Ryan, Guidry, the strikeout leaders. Ah!
Gave him the bullet, and Thurman's gone.
Strikeout number 5. Martin's return, and has he made a difference?
I think it was a good move for the team because, you know, last year when they got rid of him, we needed to calm us down, and at the time when he took over this year, we needed somebody to fire us up, and you know, and Billy's the kind of guy to do it. And I think the time he took off, almost a year now, I think it settled him down a little bit, and he's handled himself a lot better than he was toward the end last year.
Pre-game comments of Greg Nettles, whose contract expires at the end of this season, and he rolls the ball on the ground to Bobby Grich, boxes it around, throws him out, and you got 2 down.
Reggie gets the boos of the crowd wherever he goes. He's a baseball player.
Three-two pitch to Reggie is hit a mile high to the infield. Now it's up to Ryan to call it. He calls Lansford, third baseman, and the inning is over. And so, after 3.5 innings, here in Anaheim, the Angels 2, the Yankees nothing.
Well, maybe that's it.
He has really done a job, Howard. He sure has.
Action like this, I think games should be won on the playing field, not by executive decree. But we had a situation there where I would like to say that people have more fun in White Sox Stadium than any place in baseball. But this was a promotion that went beyond the contemplation of anybody and got out of hand, and the umpires felt that the playing field had been torn up, so it was not playable, and the crowd was not under control, and therefore we couldn't continue the game.
7-5. Winfield, his 21st home run.
Bobby Grich swings and misses on a high fastball. It was almost eye high, and there's one out.
He has really done a job, Howard. He sure has.
High to the right side, coming back, and Chambliss stays with it. Chris, near the stands, makes the catch.
Chris
0 for 2. Earlier this year, before he was hurt, Rick hit some line shots off Luis.
San Diego over Montreal. Atlanta 13-2 over Pittsburgh. Cincinnati 1-0 in the first in rain, and look at that blow.
Off the wall at 390 feet, and Miller is turning and going to third. A triple.
Martin did when he went to the Cubs in Philadelphia.
Got a high fastball from Tion. There you see Jackson giving chase near the wall. That ball bounces off the wall. Throw coming on from Reggie Jackson. There's Randolph. The throw sliding. Miller in at third with a triple. That's base hit number 6, Sutter.
And another tough cookie up. Down the line.
Players that have been melded into a team who feel like they can win. As Lansford hits it high in the air to left center field, but Mercer has a beat on it and flags it down for the third out. So they leave Miller at third base. And after 4 innings of play, California 2, New York nothing. Lewis and Spencer, we go to the top of the 5th inning, and folks in the Milwaukee area, here's a voice you've heard before, Mr. Bob Ueker.
Okay, Keith, Piniella, Chambliss, and Spencer here in the Yankee 5th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Mets beat the Giants, as we told you, 7-6 in game 1, though the Giants had 17 hits. The Phils on the way now, apparently, playing good ball, leading the Dodgers 1-0 in the 6th. St. Louis over Houston 1-0. Dent. Those were the 2 hits.
There's Piniella's career against Ryan, 6 for 37, 9 strikeouts. He's 3-2 on Piniella, and the payoff pitch, and he missed. That's the 3rd walk given up by Ryan.
First baseman, Chris.
He naturally looks fastball, but as he noted to me in an earlier talk, he also has had good success against the curve.
Had a Cloninger, had
Tony
unbelievable sinker. Akins, Anderson, relay, double play.
Beautiful play by Akins, the one-handed grab, and so one of the more difficult double plays to execute. And
watch the reflexes of Akins.
Good wood on that. Yeah, you saw Akins. Plenty of time to get Chambliss.
Spencer's first time up, tapped to second. Piniella let it off with a walk and the double play ball by Chambliss. In the air and playable. Carney Lansford, the third baseman, and that retires the side. So the Yankees fail to score in the 5th, and at the end of 4.5 innings, 2-0, California leads the Yankees. Numero 1. Curveball hit in the air, right side, chased by Chambliss. He's got room. Near the lower box seats, he's got it 1 down. And scored in the 3rd. Baylor having a big year.
Yeah, and he finished 14th in the All-Star voting among outfielders.
Cowboy out here with California. Love to win it for him.
Now that's an interesting graphic. Affiliation to being publicly classified as an incomplete ball player.
Wait a minute now. 3-2 to Baylor. Outside, he missed, and not by much. That's walk number 3 given up by Louis Tiant, the 2nd time that he has walked Baylor. Here it is again.
What's this? Close call.
Akins.
A little outside.
Single driving in the Angels' first run back in the 3rd. Back to the middle, Bucky Dent, Randolph, and a relay in time. And that ends it for California here in the 5th inning. 6-4 and 3 style, the double play. So at the end of 5 innings, As you take one more look at this double play ball hit by Akins right back to the box. He didn't hit it that sharply. There's Dent, Randolph, and the relay. At the end of 5, it is still California leading 2-0. We'll be back with more baseball after this word from our local station. For a strike, and it's 0-1. Ryan, through 5 innings, has thrown 73 pitches. Tiant, through 5, 95. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Randolph. Here's Ryan's payoff pitch, and he walked him. So the Yankees have the leadoff hitter on. Play, here's Bucky Dent.
Well, it's Nolan's 4th walk. Still a tight ball game, 2-0. Fought Baylor, Akins, and Downing.
In the air, short right field, Ford near the line. Easy play, he's got it.
Well, you knew Bucky was trying to go to right, but he couldn't do it with any authority, and he couldn't advance the runner.
Mercer in the air. Shortstop Anderson. Rudy's there. He makes the call and the catch to retire Bobby Mercer. That ball belongs to the infielder until the outfielder calls him off.
Pitching staff belabored by problems. Knapp injured. Tanana not pitching the way he used to pitch. The help of a kid named Mark Clear, who's been spectacular in relief, Ryan has shouldered almost the whole of the burden.
Shortstop Anderson, quick throw, got him. That ends the Yankees' 6th inning. New York gets no runs, no hits with 1 left. At the end of 5.5 innings of play, it is still California leading New York by a score of 2-0. Next team in the strikeout department. Louis has struck out 5, walked 3.
Well, Phil Negro's won another.
Randolph's going to have to hurry. Didn't get him. Willie Randolph.
Happy for Downing. He had an RBI single that he hit sharply enough, but just that ball was hit in the exactly perfect place.
In the air, behind first base, Willie Randolph makes the call. That takes care of Joe Rudy. Joe Rudy is nothing in 3 trips. He had struck out twice. Well, what a year that guy's having.
And Jeff Burrows had a grand slammer.
How much would he have had if he'd have started early?
Grich. And Brian Downing takes off. Grich hits one back up the middle. Base hit. Here's Downing going to go to third. Bobby Grich hit one right through the box. And the Angels have runners at the corner. 8 base hits off Louis Tiant for California. Here's Jim Anderson, the shortstop. Nothing. 2 balls and a strike to Anderson. Squeezes on, and he fouls it. In the strikeout department, both with 5. Ryan has walked 4, Tiant 3. He's 2-2 on Anderson. In the air, right center field is going to score a run. Bobby Mercer is there. He's got it. Downing will score easily, and the California Angels lead now 3-0.
Give that kid Anderson credit.
Well, there you see a very happy California dugout. 3-0 now. Anderson's 13th RBI of the year. Miller is 1 for 3. Grounded out in the first, fly to deep. 0-1 pitch in the air, deep right center again, but Bobby Mercer is going to get there in time. He's got it, and that retires the side. But the Angels pick up 1 run here in the 6th inning on 2 hits. And at the end of 6 full innings of play, it is now California 3 and the New York Yankees nothing.
Pitches, 35 of them outside the strike, able to solve it as of this time, and unable to bring you those interviews as we worked our way through this game for the Yankees. Battle swings and misses, strikes out. Soon thrives on. The crowd are really getting on him now as he comes up in the 7th inning with an opportunity to ruin the string of zeros posted by Ryan.
Even then, Major League scouts told him, "You've got a Major League fastball, son, and then some. Strike 2.
Oh, I mean, he is blowing. Wow.
You can sense he feels it now. There's the graphic. He wants to pass Sandy Koufax.
2-strike pitch to Jackson. High pop up to the left side for Kearney Lansford. 2 out.
Names like Bob Feller, Cy Young. He's already passed them. Now he wants to pass the great left-hander of the Dodgers.
The plate.
7 men to get.
The mound, Panola taking his time, getting established at home plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan winds, and the 3-2 pitch. He struck him out. A standing ovation for Nolan Ryan. He has not allowed a Yankee hit for 7 innings. At the end of 6 1/2, it's the Angels 3, the Yankees nothing.
And so in the middle of the 7th inning, with a crowd on its feet cheering Ryan, it's California 3, New York nothing. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning for Carney Lansford, Dan Ford, and Don Baylor. Ryan needs 6 outs to be. I thought he was going to do it last Monday. We weren't here. Sharply up the middle for Lansford. First hit of the night for him, and number 9 in the game for the Angels. Davis and Cott have been in the Yankee pen. It's a slow roller at third. Infield is soft. Reynolds has no chance.
Now the Yankee infield and outfield for Ford playing way around toward right side. There's Nolan.
2-1 to Baylor. Popped him up on the right side for Chambliss. Now it's Munson. And Thurman calls it. Well, Baylor fouls out to the catcher.
Play. As I said, Martin, no quitting him. Cotton Gossage, they bring in the left-hander. No staying with him.
Well, if the Yankees could get a little long ball going, 3-0, they're still in the hunt with 2 innings to go.
Exactly what's in Martin's mind.
Hasn't been Tion. He's pitched a good ball game tonight,
Right.
trailing 3-0.
Here's Willie Aikens. High to the right side, way in the air for Reggie Jackson in right field. Lansford breaks at second, goes to third. 2 out.
Lined a shot to center. His first hit Keith, the next 2. An infield, well, a sharp grounder past Dent. You're in his position. You just can't wait to get out there, to get it done, especially when you feel so overpowering, as he has clearly felt tonight.
Pitch. Those are the numbers on the 2 pitchers tonight. Downing at the plate. Draws a walk. Downing is now the American League's leading hitter because Roy Smalling went 0 for 4 tonight. Downing is 3 for 3 and has moved to the lead in the American League batting race. Bases are now loaded for Joe Rudy. 1 and 2 on Joe Rudy. Get out into right center field. Bobby Mercer has room, makes the catch, and the Angels leave 3.
Big D. All right, Al, thank you very much. It'll be Chris Chambliss, Jim Spencer, and Willie Randolph in that order. The first 3 scheduled to face Ryan here in the 8th inning. Ryan peering in for the sign. He rocks into motion. 2-2 pitch, drive up the alley, left center field. Miller off with a crack at the bat. He's there. Pounds the glove, makes the catch. Bring on Jim Spencer. He is 0 for 2. Angel Baseball is brought to you by Chevrolet. In just 2 short years, over 1 million people have bought and enjoyed the Caprice and Impala. For the strikeout, the roar and the clap and the chant. Ryan rocks into motion. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Drive up the alley. Coming on. Miller still coming on. And he can't make the play. It goes by him. As Spencer goes to second base, and we'll see how they call it. It appeared that Miller could have made an error. They call it an error. will be the hitter. Dive, the ball looked like it came up and hit him on the heel. Ryan again ready. He sets. The next pitch, a curveball. That's in and over. The count is 0-2. Ryan ready to go to the stretch. Here's a 2-strike pitch. Got him swinging, strike 3. Now Randolph strikes out, and that brings on Bucky Dent. Gritch a step or so to his left. Ryan ready. Here's a 3-1 pitch. High ball 4. Have their say. Ryan tugs the cap down. Matt is pulled down by Downing. He comes back behind the plate. And we go to the top of the order in Bobby Mercer. Same. Ryan to the stretch. The pitch to Mercer. A bouncer hit to Akins. He has it. He'll go to the bag. He will do it himself. And the Yankees are retired in the 8th. No runs. No hits. 1 error. They leave 2. If you're looking to the Yankee ninth, they will go to the men who have written many a script. Munson, Nettles, and Jackson. But through 7 1/2, it's the Angels.
And so the no-hitter for Ryan is still alive as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, the Cardinals with Silvio Martinez shut out Houston 1-0. Houston's 7th straight loss.
Third baseman Nettles has it and throws out Bobby Gritch, running gingerly with a sore hamstring for his 5th no-hitter. Strike 2 called. Scores American League. The home half of the inning is just sort of a moment of toleration, relaxation, the way things have developed tonight.
That's right. They're all waiting for Ryan now with a chance to make.
Right through Nettles. Chicago has jumped on Cincinnati. The Cubs are playing very well.
Look at the Mets.
And the Dodgers, Phillies beat them 3-2. Phillies are going to be right there in September, I think. And Houston losing again. Up the middle, base hit. Anderson turns second and holds as Mercer comes back with it. Billy Martin on his way to the mound. Time call. That. Popped him up. Lansford shoots it up back of the plate. Munson comes back and makes the catch for the second out. Two runners go. Ford hits it down the right field line. It's a fair ball going to the corner. Both will score. And it's 5-0 California.
A tremendous suspense in terms of whether or not Nolan Ryan will get his 5th no-hit career victory. We'll be right back.
Ron Davis has come on in relief of Luis Tiant. His record, his numbers, we've spoken of him. He has been a bellwether. Will pitch now to Don Baylor as the Angels have taken the lead 5-0. 2-run draft January '76, traded from the Cubs for Kenny Holtzman. Slow curve is punched to center field. Mercer coming, can't get it, drops in for a base hit and Ford. To coin an old time-worn phrase, ain't the point. There's another base hit up the middle as Aiken drills it. And so young Ron Davis is greeted by back-to-back singles for the California Angels, and Brian Downing now, who is the American League's leading hitter, will be coming to the plate.
And presently in first place in the American League West. This club can hit.
Punch to the right side and flagged by Chambliss for out number 3. So the California Angels tack on 3 more runs after 8 complete innings, lead 6-0. Back with the real word after this word from our local station.
2 balls and no strikes to count. the 2-0 pitch to Munson. A bouncer hits Anderson. He charges. He boots the ball. He throws and they don't get it. That will be an error.
Be saddled with this kind of situation.
Anderson a little indecisive as to how to play it, to back up on it or come in and short hop it. He came in and tried to short hop it, and he had no chance on Munson. And so Nettles now comes to the plate with Jackson to the on-deck circle. Ryan needs 3 outs. 3 outs. They do not want to make a mistake. Nettles pops it up. Brian Downing, the catcher. 1 out.
2 to go.
Munson at first, 1 out. Reggie Jackson up 0 for 3 tonight.
Nolan Ryan.
Base hit, center field. Munson goes to third.
Ryan, and again the crowd up on its feet. Ryan waving his hand. That stops that. Here's Lou Piniella. Ryan's first pitch, a fly ball into right center field. Munson will tag, and Ford makes the catch. Here comes Munson. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Munson scores. It's 6-1 Angel.
The no-hitter gone, but so is the shutout.
But it was a beautiful scene you just witnessed as this crowd paid tribute to Nolan Ryan.
Four no-hitters.
Just extraordinary.
2-2 to Chambliss. Chris swings and misses, strikes out. The game is over. Nolan Ryan wins his 12th game of the season. But the no-hitter is spoiled in the top of the 9th inning by Reggie Jackson as he hits a solid single up the middle.
Nolan Ryan, I know you got to be terribly disappointed, Nolan, losing the no-hitter in the 9th inning, but another outstanding effort here. The base hit by Reggie Jackson stopped it 2 outs away from number 5.
Well, thank you, Bob. It was ball back up the middle that I had a play on, and I just missed the ball. I wasn't ready for him hitting the ball back up the middle, and it was a double play ball if I catch the ball, so I had the opportunity to throw it, and I didn't.
What about the ball that Spencer hit that eluded Miller in center field?
Well, as far as whether that was a hit or not, I don't know. I'm not in a position to tell whether he got his glove on the ball cleanly or not. It was an awful tough play. I know that the play itself and the reaction from the fans and the Yankee dugout, it broke my concentration, and after that I really wasn't able to regain it like I had it earlier in the game, and so that was a big play for us. I made a pitch on Spencer that I'd previously had planned to go away with him, and Brian and I decided we were ahead of him in the count that we'd come in on him and try to get him to chase a bad pitch. We got the ball up, but we didn't get in the spot we wanted, and he hit the ball back in the middle.
The game on Monday night, Nolan, when you shut out the Boston Red Sox, he threw 140 pitches. I was wondering how that affected you tonight.
Well, I felt good up until after the play in the 8th, and then I felt a little drained. I don't know if it was psychological or physical, but I didn't feel as sharp after that play, and I didn't have that kind of stuff in the 9th inning. I was hoping I'd be able to spot the ball and maybe get a double play ball out of Reggie, and he gave it to us, but I didn't make the play.
Well, a great effort, Nolan. Thanks again. It was a super job tonight. Number 12 for Nolan Ryan. Now let's go back upstairs to Keith Jackson.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Nolan Ryan now 12-6. Tiant the loser. He's now 6-4. The final score: California 6, the New York Yankees 1.